I thought rather than talk to you about zero-knowledge proofs when everyone in the room knows more than I do about it, I would just tell you something I think is more kind of an interesting conceptual model, and then where we're using zero-knowledge proofs and where maybe you could help a couple areas. It kind of evolved over a number of years that we started looking at identity as really the three mutually orthogonal dimensions, and mutually orthogonal in the sense that I don't actually, we tend to, when we deal with digital identity, we tend to mix these things way too much. And so kind of separating them out into these three dimensions made a lot of sense. And here's an example. The first is the dimension of relationships. And I have different relationships with different parties. And as such, I should have different identifiers. If I want to respect privacy, I want to make sure I don't have leakage across domains, I need to have pairwise identifiers, pairwise keys. I need to make sure I'm not sharing the same signatures, the same hashes across those domains. That's critical. This is how it is in the real life. Like if I walk down the street, I'm a different person walking down the street. Internally, I'm the same, but externally, I'm a different person walking down the street than I am when I'm on the phone with my wife at lunch asking about her doctor's appointment, or when I'm standing right here in front of you. I'm a different person in different contexts. And then also the second dimension is attributes, things about me that I could choose to share. That others know about me. On the street, people know something about me, but different things than you know about me. And then the third dimension is agents. I use this example when I talk to people, kind of more kind of layman kind of conversations, and I say, I can sign a piece of paper, but I can't digitally sign anything because my brain can't remember the algorithm and can't remember the long private keys to be able to actually generate a digital signature. And so I have to use something like this. Well, this is a first-class citizen in my identity, and I ought to treat it as such, and not hand-wave over the fact that I personally don't have any keys. I hold agents that have keys. And then, of course, in my agents, I could actually have someone who's acting on my behalf. If I had some sort of decentralized key recovery solution that required some of my friends, they would certainly be an agent for a particular purpose. So bringing those three things together, you can imagine an XYZ, kind of a three-dimensional space. Each of these orthogonal dimensions, the intersection of two of the three will give us a plane that kind of gives us a two-dimensional space to play with. So when I'm talking about relationships and attributes, this is clearly a place for anonymous credentials, which is what we implemented based on the work that Jan Kamenisch and Anna Lisianskia, who was here yesterday but not here today, did a while ago, and IBM Research is still doing great work there. This is a great place for zero-knowledge proofs. I want to prove that I have some attribute without sharing a signature that can be used to correlate me across domains. Over here, on this side, we have how do relationships tie with my agents. Some agents are used in some relationships and not others, so I need some mechanism to do that, and what contexts and how those different agents are used and what they're authorized to do. So this is important, but we're not using zero-knowledge proofs here at all. This last one is an interesting one. This is more of a recent kind of discovery. Is if I'm using this to authenticate, or I'm using this to authenticate, if I lose this device, then how do I stop someone from impersonating me? We need to have some decentralized key management, and I need a way to prove in zero knowledge that my agent that I'm using right now is authorized to reveal the attributes that are being revealed. And so we've implemented this as a proof of concept. It's open source. It's in the Hyperledger Indy project base. We don't love the implementation. It's a global accumulator. We think that something ZK snark based or maybe bulletproof based would be helpful here to try to kind of speed this up and make that a little more efficient, because right now it's heavy on the agents. So anyway, just I want to give a broad overview of where, and just so you know, my background, Jason Law, co-founder of Evernym, one of the original creators of Sovereign. I'm a technical governance board chair and ex officio trustee of the Sovereign Foundation, and so really interested in getting this stuff into the hands of users and getting help if you guys are interested. So I think that's it. Thank you.
Can I ask something?
Yeah.
When you say relationships, how do you distinguish between the relationship with one of your agents as your phone and say your bank or a human being or an organization doing something for you? Do you have a distinction?
Yeah. So I have to tell, if I have like someone who's authorized to sign for me, I have to tell in whatever relationship they're authorized to do that in, I have to be able to communicate that. And so there's a concept we're using to be able to authorize certain things. So I may be able to use this to spend $100, but this maybe I can spend $1,000 or something. So you need that granularity of authorization within the relationships that you have.
Yeah, but I meant more conceptually, right? Somehow, I didn't get that. Your former relationships, and if I understood you correctly, the other end of the relationship would be a bank or another person.
Yeah.
In your model, and then you have agents, and you think about them as different as the bank.
Yes.
What is the conceptual?
Conceptually, the bank doesn't represent me. The agents do, and we're calling to light that an agent that operates on my behalf is authorized by me to operate on my behalf, whereas the bank is not. Now, if I have a relationship where I'm asking the bank to operate on my behalf, I could certainly use them in that context, but that's the separation, is agents work for me.
So one thing to add to that is in sovereign model is this type of delegation of keys to agents could be used as a generic delegation construct. But in order to do so, you'd want to have some more zero-knowledge attributes to it that you could delegate without necessarily revealing who is doing the delegation at every step. So there's some interesting things to work on.
Yeah, okay. All right, thanks.